Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I am your host, Mikey, and as always, ride with me. Tommy, what's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Mikey, it's been a great day today. I'm sure you heard the Damar Hamlin news really all week with Damar Hamlin, because I've been covering it like crazy since Monday, since we went off the air, as you could say, on the podcast we did Monday night. He's been improving every single day, it seems like, and today he got the breathing tube out, and he actually did a Zoom kind of meeting with the team, and man, he talked a little bit as best as he could, and man, he flexed. He did a lot of it's just all great signs. As far as everything that I've heard, no brain damage. He's still going through some stuff, but man, ultimately, man, talk about the what prayer does for somebody, and what the fight this kid had. So man, it's just awesome to hear, and I'm sure the Buffalo Bills now that they know that their brother is going to make it, that he's going to be just fine. Oh boy.
Watch out Sunday.
Watch out playoffs. Watch out everybody who stands in our way moving forward, because now, if they didn't already have a chip on their shoulder or something to play for, like we mentioned before on Monday, which everything that's happened, man, oh man, Mikey, like this is just added fuel to the fire, man. They got a lot to play for.
Yeah, they do, and it's awesome. Hearing that he had it taken out, what was it, like really early this morning, and he was able to have any type of communication with the team. And the way they did it is the team didn't know. It was a surprise. Right. The way McDermott set it up and put him up on the big screen. It also goes back to how awesome those doctors and the trainers and the EMTs were that were on site. That for as long as they were doing the CPR and he came out with all motor functions and everything good, it's amazing.
Yeah, there was the guy, I believe his name's Denny. Is that correct? The assistant. Yeah. So let me tell you something. Yeah, that dude there deserves everything he's about to get, as far as any kind of awards or any kind of just acknowledgement for what he did. Because I guarantee you see that dude on the ESPYs,
dude's trending. Dude was trending all over the place today.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him. So I want to let you guys know there was a lot of people involved with saving Damar Hamlin's life, but he was he's one of the main ones, and he deserves so much credit, and he's going to get it. I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to get it. The NFL is going to honor that man. The Buffalo Bills are going to honor that man, and Damar Hamlin, I'm sure is going to give him a huge hug when he sees him the next time he sees him, which, by the way, he will.
Bean started his press conference today, with the first 15, 20 minutes, running down the list of people. Yeah. One that no one even thinks about that he said, the equipment guy who got his face mask off in time for them to be able to do it. You don't even think about stuff like that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's crazy.
It
Yeah,
is
they're
wild.
gonna be doing some kind of pregame thing. Scott's right.
They
They're
all
doing some
are.
kind of,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think every team's has the 3 on the field.
a bunch of
Uh,
patches. I believe most
yeah,
of them
the
wearing 3 patches.
yeah, yep. So
You
pretty
know,
damn cool, man. Pretty damn cool.
yeah. I think the NFL put it out to where all teams are gonna be wearing the 3 patch.
Okay, I didn't hear about that, but I did hear about the field. Something about the number 3 is
Um,
going to be on the
Bean
field.
talked. It was either Bean or McDermott talked about it today. How the NFL came out and with a memo today about the 3 patch. So,
Okay, okay,
which is cool. You know,
yeah, definitely.
but the fact that he's awake, talking,
Yeah,
breathing on his own.
yeah,
I mean, he has a
responsive. I
long,
mean,
yeah, well, it was a long way back and a long road ahead of him. But you know what?
yeah,
He's outside of that doing things on his own again, and
yeah,
that was quick, honestly.
it
Being in
really was.
ICU, like
Hmm.
he recovered way faster than I expected him to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, like I said, man. So they say, everybody says this, and I heard this a while back, and I should have said it too on that night that we talked, but it was so Monday night was crazy,
Hmm.
that podcast.
Yeah.
But um, a lot of doctors say, because I was, and I knew I heard this before, but they're saying that this, like, if anything bad were to happen, the number one best place to be obviously the hospital, but the second best would be an
Oh,
NFL
cool.
football field, because there's so many. They have like up, I think they said 30 different doctors available, like there all the time, like, and they're all specializing in something. And you saw how quick they were to respond. Like
Um,
if that was anywhere else, I hate.
Colin Cowherd talked about that.
Yeah, he may not have made it. So,
Hmm.
uh, and it's crazy. I gotta say too, they haven't officially announced what the ruling is, what happened, but most doctors that I've read or heard or have
Yeah.
all came down to the one conclusion that it was just basically a freak thing. And your rhythm has a certain heart pattern, and
Hmm.
in that pattern, there's like a 2 millisecond. I mean, literally, Mikey, 2 milliseconds that it would take in that pattern for you to get hit in the
Yeah.
right where that and with enough force to knock basically your heart out of rhythm
Yeah.
or make it go into like a shock wave, and that's exactly what happened. Um, because I did go back and look at the play. If you look at the play back when he got up and bounced back, I initially just you even see him like adjust his mask, like his helmet. Like he seemed fine, but I think his heart was going so crazy at the time, and then that's what happened. But
Yeah.
listen, I don't think I will say this though. I am very curious, Mikey, because I can almost promise you that there's going to be a company out there that's going to try to make some kind of chest pad
Hmm.
to maybe help prevent this happening in the
Hmm.
future, even though it's a long shot,
They have
one in a
them.
million.
They have those jerseys that have the pads on top for your shoulders
Yeah, the
and your
chest protector.
ribs.
Uh-huh.
They're just they're almost like skeleton pads type things, but it was built into like a stretch fit shirt. I could
Right,
see them
right.
doing that and adding one for their chest. I
Yeah,
think they
like a
have
like
them
a
for catchers.
Yeah, like a specific because they say it happens more in baseball than anything like
Yeah.
but, I could definitely see them, bro, with the NFL, how much money they got, and these companies too, by the way, there's
Hmm.
money involved. Let's not be stupid, right? Like, there's going to be a company that's going trust me, that's already designing something to present, and they're gonna wind up, using it
They
because
probably
I
have something. They probably already
I
have
don't
something that
they this
they have for something else that they'll be able to modify into
right. It's
football.
football. Exactly. So that's what that thought crossed my mind. But yeah, you're right. We're talking 4 days later. He's already.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, the first thing he thought, he said, or he wrote down when he woke up was, "Did we win?" Like, I mean, like, so that tells you right there, his mind is fine. His brain, like, his function was clearly on, like, typical football player. Right? Did we win? You know what I mean? Doctor's like, yeah, you won in life, bud.
Yeah.
It
That's like a movie quote when you hear that. Scott's right here
so
too.
was.
If for some reason it's not the Bills, yeah, the Bengals organization
Oh
is
yeah,
definitely the players, the coaching staff.
yeah.
What they did off, that's not on TV. Bean talked about it today, how, some of them came up and, what the organization stepped up and helped them with. Yeah. Shout out to the Bengals organization. And if for some reason it can't be the Bills, fine. I'll back the Bengals horse.
Yeah, why not?
But
Yeah,
it's gonna be the Bills. So
I kind of feel bad for T. Higgins was getting a lot of
which is
a
dumb.
lot of hate, which is dumb because that play, like we said right after when we did that podcast. I mean, that's a play we see all the time. That play happens all the time. I've seen way worse. That's football. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing. He did nothing wrong there. Like, so anyone that's saying he did something wrong, you don't know football. You don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. He didn't spear him purposely with his helmet.
Wasn't it like a defender or something that talked about it on ESPN?
Bart Scott, of all people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you got to remember, too, sometimes you got to be careful what you say when, something crazy like that happens right away. Because you got to remember, I always say sometimes you got to take a step back, look at the play. You know what I mean? Like in your emotions.
I mean, they looked at the play, and I think he was trying to find the cause of it. And he lowered his helmet, but they all lower the helmet.
Yeah. No, I know. Stephon Diggs does it all the time. Dawson Knox does. I mean, they all
Josh
do it.
does it. Like
Devin Singletary.
They lowered it to protect themselves and the ball, and they get into a ball.
Happens all the time.
It was a fluke thing. It had nothing to do with what really happened to him. It was that was like the most benign tackle you'll ever see.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was a routine.
There was nothing. That's why I was surprised when he did initially fall, because I'm like, damn, I didn't see him I didn't see like a helmet to helmet. But I thought, oh, maybe whiplash, because I have seen players in other sports, not just football, get up and wobble down. You know what I mean? Not necessarily just that, just maybe a whiplash effect. You know what I mean? That's what I initially thought. But then, obviously, the rest was.
It was just weird. It was weird. It was a weird play. A weird night.
Routine. That's what I was going to say. That's about as routine as a tackle, as a play that you're going to see in football. I've seen so much worse. It's just, like I said earlier, it's a 1 in a million chance.
1 in a billion. It's 1 in a billion chance.
Is that what they did? 1 in a billion?
Yeah,
okay, 1 in a billion. And think about it. Look how long football's lasted. You got players, offensive linemen and defensive linemen, that hit their chest literally.
Every play.
Right. And that's never happened. So, listen, guys, it's the rarity of that. Like Mike said, 1 in a billion. I thought it was 1 in a million, but 1 in a billion. It's not. But if you want to play it safe, if you're the NFL and you're a player, let's say you're a player, because I will say this: if I'm a player now, I will say, shit, maybe I do need to. If they do make that, chest thing, right? Maybe I will wear that. You get what I mean? If they come out with something like that, you know what I mean? Because it might be optional. Maybe not all players have to wear that thing if they come out with it, but I for sure would.
Yeah. And you know what? Chewy's right here. Shout out to. I'm not overly religious guy. I'm not. It's just just who I am personally. However,
I didn't see that, by the way.
It was right. I felt comfortable and better that the fact that he even did that. It was pretty cool that.
I missed that.
ESPN even let him do that. So, yeah, it had a prayer on, around the table. It was weird. I've never seen it before.
So I do got to ask you,
real
quick, Mikey, because I know you haven't been you got your own stuff you're dealing with. So you haven't really watched the TV as much and all that good stuff. So I'm guessing you already knew about the backlash of Skip Bayless, right? We knew about it, right? Okay. So did you know that the next day Shannon didn't show up, right? You're unaware of this.
I didn't know that.
Okay. So, oh, dude, I got to pull up the clip then. So Shannon Sharp did not show up the next day. So Skip was solo. And Skip trying to make this long apology, like in Skip fashion, he tried to make it like, he cares about the play. Like he totally, that's all that matters. Like he was trying to save face at that point, right? Well, then very next day, Shannon comes on, and I'm going to find it. So you keep talking. Answer some of your chat, because you got to hear it. You got to watch it. So I'm going to pull it up in a minute.
All right, that's fine.
Answer some of these chats.
So what's going on, Dallas? How you doing tonight, bud? You know, yeah, Joey. A lot of us have never seen anything like that. That was crazy. Um, well, guys, do we have some extreme motivation going forward? Yeah, we do. And I'll tell you, me and Tommy talked a little bit about it on Monday night. The Buffalo Bills have had a very trying season. And there's not even the Buffalo Bills, the Buffalo organization, the region, the area. Like some of the stuff, starting with Kim Pagula in the off season, and then they had a bunch of things go on this season, with Micah going down and Dane and the blizzards and the shootings and a second blizzard which claimed a bunch of lives and getting rerouted. It's been an emotional year for Buffalo as a whole. I'm not
Oh,
from
dude.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
but I support the town, the region, the fans, it's I feel like I'm a son from Buffalo. I used to live in California. It's been a rough year for Buffalo. So let's hope in 2023 will allow us to have our first parade. That's what I'm shooting for.
I'm pulling this up for you real quick, Mikey, while we talk.
Scott says, to be honest, I didn't think what Skip tweeted was that awful. Tad insensitive, perhaps, but Bart Scott was 100 times worse. I didn't see fully what I knew. Skip tweeted something out, and I think he was talking about about them having to play due to like standings or something. I I know people grabbed that one tweet. There was tweets before that and tweets after that talked about Damar and the things around it. But Tommy, I can watch it later. It's not that big a deal right now.
No, I got it. I gotta. So you gotta watch this, Mikey. So. All right, you ready? I gotta pull this up for you. All right, here we go.
As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up.
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations. So clearly, somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
This is on top of what happened with them when he tried to tell
the Hall of Fame
Shannon the Hall of Fame thing and how he's jealous of Tom Brady.
So,
what the hell is going on with Skip?
They're not. Listen, that right there.
That show is about to be broken up.
Yeah, 100%. You can
tell. Won't stay.
No, so all right. So real quick, I heard you because when I was trying to look for it, I know Scott came with the comment or whatever. So here's the deal with the tweet. Here's the problem that people have. It was the opening remark wasn't about Hamlin, is what people are upset about. He said, "Oh, this game should be played," blah blah blah, like right, and then he tried to save face at the end and say, "Oh, but the player blah blah blah." So his first thought was about the game. Like, so that's where people, right. So that's where people were like, whoa, you know what I mean? So
let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Does it surprise you? Knowing
no, of course
Skip
not.
Is.
Oh, no. I wasn't surprised when that night when it came out, you know what I mean? Like clearly he has problems, but it's just funny to me though that Skip, like I said,
you tried to say you're right. He's too stubborn. He doesn't know how to shut up.
And he said he's not taking. He's like, I stand by the tweet. And it's like, all right, go ahead, move on. But I thought I wanted you to see that because Shannon did not show up the next day, and everyone's like, oh. they
there
got
we
into
go.
it right away.
Ben outlined it for me. The top shooting, Knox's brother, the Blizzard #1. You know,
Oh, I
then
did
the
a whole
Blizzard
video on this.
#2, and
Yeah, I did a
Damar.
whole.
Yeah. So, and it started with Kim, and I know I haven't heard anything. I know she's doing better, but
I
no one.
forgot, wow, dude, Mikey, I forgot about that. When I did the video, I started off because obviously the mass shooting in Buffalo. I totally forgot about
It
Kim
started with
Pegula.
Kim getting
You're
sick.
right. I totally forgot about that. And by the way, I still don't. Did anybody?
They never come out and said what happened. They just said that she's getting better.
Right, nothing. So maybe that's why I didn't bring it up, because there wasn't really much of a story with it. You know what I mean? It never really had not even a happy, like nothing. Nobody heard nothing. So I totally forgot about that. Wow. Because I did a whole thing of how crazy it's been of a season for Buffalo, the city of Buffalo, the Bills players, Dawson Knox, all that crap, right? Not, the snow, the blizzard. Like, I mean, just wild, but wow, I totally forgot about that. So wow, that's just added. I mean, I totally forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Wow,
yeah. So, anyways, Damar is awake, doing better. I imagine the team is super stoked. Going through and seeing him on TV. I know he told him that he loved him, and did the flex thing.
Did the heart thing.
Yeah. So I imagine that. But then Roger Goodell and the competition committee came to a new playoff scenario because the Bills Bengals game has been canceled to a no contest, which means if Kansas City wins Saturday, they get the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm. Which the chances are they're going to win.
Yeah, they're going to get the 1 seed, which means they get the bye. If the Bills win and Kansas City wins, the Bills get the 2 seed, and then the Bengals will get the 3 seed. Now, if that happens and the Bills and the Kansas City meet in the AFC Championship game, it's going to be moved to a neutral site. We don't know where that site is yet.
Yep.
But there's still the possibility of Vegas beating the Chiefs and the Bills winning and the Bills getting the 1 seed. There's also the chance that New England comes into Buffalo. I can't see this happening, but New England comes into Buffalo and beats us, and we could get the 3 seed. Because if we lose and the Bengals win, they have a higher strength of schedule, which would give them the 3 seed or the 2 seed. There is a weird thing at the end of that about the Bengals and Ravens. Did you see that?
No, I missed that.
So the Bengals and Ravens, the Bengals technically clinched their division by them not playing the game. However, they added this in. If the Bengals lose to the Ravens this week and then they play each other in the playoffs, even though the Bengals have the 3 seed, they'll do a coin flip on where it's supposed to be because the Bengals beat them or the Ravens beat them twice. They'll do a coin flip on what place it plays at.
Interesting.
So the 3 seed could be on the road against a 6 seed.
Why though? I don't understand that. Why would they do that? That makes no sense.
Because their owner did a better job of lobbying the competition committee. Because they were saying, if they would have lost to the Bills,
right?
If the Bengals lost to the Bills and they lost to the Ravens could have won the division.
Well, I gotta say, luckily we're not involved in a coin toss because you know how that would.
Right. So,
we would lose that. I would just say, just forget the coin toss. This is.
Really, the best scenario. Spin, you're right. The best scenario is for the NFL that both KC and the Bengals lose, the Bills win, and then the playoffs run like a normal playoff.
Right. Yeah. Well, hey, one can hope, but the chances. Let me tell you.
What would be the best for them would be KC loses, the Bengals win, and the Bills win, because the way it's set up.
Yeah.
That would actually be the best scenario for them. So,
but when they benched Derek Carr, that was now even though I'll tell you what, Stidham had a decent game, but I told you about this quarterback.
Stidham threw
He
it
did
to
350
Devontae
or
Adams.
something like that. No, he had a great.
Carr stopped throwing it to Devontae Adams. I don't know why.
I don't know. Who knows? I still don't think so. But you never know. There's been crazier things that happen.
Listen,
So.
crazy things that happen. I truly think it's going to be set up to where KC's 1, the Bills are 2, and the
Right.
Bengals are 3. I think the Bengals beat the Ravens because there's going to be no Lamar Jackson again. So I think it's going to be set up that way. And then I think because even if say the Bills lose and it becomes a Bengals Chiefs AFC Championship game, it's still at a neutral site.
Right.
So
wild. You know, I would assume that in the off season they will go over this again, like in case this ever happens in the future, so they don't have to come. You know, it's just going to be set in stone. You get what I mean? Rather than having to go through meetings or whatever they got to do.
Yeah, Triggs comes in and says Derek Carr just doesn't pull the trigger. He plays it too safe. He's the knockoff version of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't go for gusto either very often.
Yeah,
he's very safe with his passes.
That's going to be an interesting game, boy. I'm obviously I'm in Detroit, so Detroit has to have Seattle lose, which it could happen. Like it could. Seattle wasn't playing that great lately, but then they got to go to Green Bay and handle their business. And it's funny because that Seattle Rams game's at 4, so they'll already know during warm-ups if they're going because if Seattle wins, it's over. They're not getting in regardless if they win or lose. So it's going to be interesting. And then Green Bay needs some. I believe Green Bay has to win as well, and for them, which is crazy. What a cool little scenario at the end. Is there any other playoffs for AFC? What's in jeopardy right now for Is it? I think the Titans need to beat Jacksonville, correct? And then they're in.
Yep, Titans need to beat Jacksonville to get in. Jacksonville can still get in even if they lose, but there's a lot of guys who have to lose. Miami wins, and I believe they're in.
Right, but there's no. You saw what they.
But they're
signed,
going.
right?
They're going with Thompson versus Flacco. What a barn burner that one's going to be.
Did you see who they signed? With some old school quarterback?
No, I didn't.
Glennon, Mike Glennon.
Yeah. Well, because there's no Tua and there's no Teddy.
Right. Oh my God.
So it's Thompson versus Flacco. And Dallas, the Bengals are mad, and the reason they're mad is due to that they could win the division and be the 3 seed and have to go on the road at the 6 seed possibility.
Right.
However, if they just win this week, all that's for naught. But I understand why they were pissed. I would have been mad too. How are you going to have to be the 3 seed, which means they have a harder NFL schedule next year because they have a number 1 they have the division championship schedule, but they wouldn't have got the home game.
Right.
Which is crazy. Yeah, pick and get in. So if the Jets beat Miami and we beat New England, Pitt's in. And that's who we would play in the first round if we get to see
that Pittsburgh's in play. I mean,
yeah.
Wild. I forget who I was talking to somebody last night. I'm like, bro, what usually like because the guy my buddy, he's a Packers fan. I'm like, bro, most of the time you got to have at least 10 wins to get in the playoffs.
But it's not the craziest scenario. All 3 of those teams could technically lose. Yeah. So in order for the Jags to lose and still get in, they need Miami, New England, and Pittsburgh all to lose.
Yeah. No, I was saying though, listen. Normally, you need about 10 wins to win, right? To get in the playoffs. Unless you win your division, your terrible division, you have 9 wins. But it's been such a bad year, AFC and NFC teams. Like a lot of teams are disappointed. That they still have a fighting chance with 8 wins, 9 wins is wild. I don't recall ever seeing this. Like you know what I mean? On both sides, AFC and NFC, where a 9-win team can make the playoffs. Wild. And 8 wins, I mean, potentially.
Yeah,
wow.
8 wins, yeah.
What in the world?
In the NFC, you're gonna have a 7-win team make the playoffs.
I know. Wild, huh?
you know. And yeah, and this way it's either the Jags can technically still win the division. The Jags can be the 4 seed. Isn't that wild?
Because they won the division. Yeah.
That's wild. The NFL also said they might not count Kansas City's last week win because they didn't get to finish our game. So it's a bunch of crap. No, they finalized it today, Joey. There was a lot of different options out there. So they're going to go. You know, they counted the wins. They'll just have one more game. So if for some reason, you know, we end up 13-3 and they end up 14-3, and we meet in the AFC Championship game, it'll be at a neutral site. That's how they're going to fix it.
Yeah, and I think I'll be honest with you. You know, me and Mikey talk about this. I feel this is the best they could do because there was no way in hell, one, that they could replay that game. There's just not enough time. Playoffs are right around the corner. It wouldn't be fair to anyone, right? That's one. They're not going to push the Super Bowl back. They're just not. They already set the venue. It's millions and millions of dollars in stake. And listen, it is what it is. A no contest to me is, you know, what I feared at first was they were going to try to do something like a forfeit or a tie, which would be bullshit because then we'd have that. Then for sure we wouldn't have any chance. You know what I mean? So I thought a no contest, like the game never happened, was as fair as you can get because, Mikey, the game was so early on. It wasn't like it was fourth quarter, 3 minutes to go, and the Bengals were up by 30.
Drive number 3 in the first quarter.
I mean,
8 minutes
the Bills
left.
were right. It was like the game it was just like just warming up, like you're making macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And the pot's starting to boil.
Yeah.
Right. You're just about to pour like, oh man, the power goes out. So there's nothing you can do there. So no, man, listen, this is the best option they could do. No contest.
Triggs, you're 100% right. This wouldn't be a problem if they would have kept the second seed as a bye as well, because, it wouldn't have mattered.
It's crazy. I'll be honest with you. There's only one that gets a bye. Like, they got to change it. I think they have to change that in the future. I think it should be.
They're not going to, because they want that extra game.
No, I get it, but I would hope in the future sometime maybe they do that. But I mean,
I don't. They just made this change a couple years ago. I don't see them changing.
I know. Unless they add another playoff team, you know how. But
then you're half the NFL is going to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, they did it for college football. I mean, listen, the NFL. NFL's about money. They add another team, it's more money, another game played. You know how that works. Wouldn't like to be hating. I'll tell you what, I'd rather have that than an 18-game season. Being honest with you, you don't need 18. That's 18-week season, 17 games. Go back to 16.
Go, yeah.
Go back to 17.
Add an extra.
Yeah, you make more money. NFL, what do you do in NFL? You make more money that way, anyways. You know that.
Extra playoff.
Yeah, game. So cut a week off, do a 17-week, and add an extra team on the playoff.
They're talking about adding an 18th week still.
That's wild. So 19 weeks, 18 games. No,
yeah,
they're wild, bro. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
players won't buy.
No, it's already in the labor agreement.
Wow, I don't know what they're signing, bro. I gotta say too, real quick, I cannot believe out of all the sports played, like NBA and baseball, that these players. I mean, they get paid. I'm not saying football players all boohoo. They get, but like this is the most out of all the sports, maybe except for boxing, because boxing is really dangerous. Man, football is like they're the number one sport. Right? Over baseball, over basketball. And these basketball players in baseball make way more money, right, on average. And these football players are not making as much. Now, mind you, there's also 53 players on a roster.
There's 53 players.
And the practice squad. Yeah, I get it. I get that part.
No, it's not just that, but in baseball, when a player comes in, the first 6 years of their major league experience is league minimum. It's not until 6 years down the line before they get paid.
Well, not everybody. I mean, obviously, some superstars get.
Well, they have.
But those are few to none.
They have up to 6 years after. They can start renegotiating. They get re-signed after 4.
But I think I guess my point is, I think maybe they need to do something in like situations like this, something where something's guaranteed, a little bit more guaranteed for the guys coming in. You get what I mean on a
They
contract.
were talking about. I was listening to one of the podcasts, and I can't remember which one, and they were talking about like the NFLPA, and you have to be in the league for, I think, was it 3 full seasons before you're a vested veteran, and then
Right.
you get a pension.
Exactly. I think that needs to change.
For something like this, they may need to change that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my point, because
it
you don't know.
It might have been Rich Eisen I was listening to, and he was talking about
Rich.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That would make
He's like,
sense. But
things like this, they need to find a way to better take care of those younger guys.
no, 100%. I mean, look at I mean, just not even guys like. Listen, you got the Hamlin, and there's guys that get paralyzed. I mean, look at Kevin Everett, right? And he was on his second year, I think it was, or his rookie year, or he was either his rookie or second year, if I'm not mistaken, on the Kevin Everett thing. So, but that happens all the time. My point is, they need to. I think this is I think this open up a lot of eyes in the NFL world, like just players in general. You could see now, like they're like, oh, you know what I mean? Because trust me, I know they know that it's a dangerous sport, that players can get hurt, right? Like you can break your leg, there's a chance you get paralyzed, there's a chance, a lot of things, right? Concussions, your brain. But I think this is the first time that players are actually not scared, but going, damn, we could die. You get what I mean? Like, now I know that's a 1 in a billion, like I said, but still, look what happened. So I wonder if the players now, like, you know what I mean, work something out where their families are taken care of. You get what I mean? Even if they're first year players in the league. That's where I'm going with this. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100% on that. They need to come up with something. However, but you know what? That goes back to the veterans. The veterans need to figure out a way to take care of the younger guys and put it in their labor negotiations, and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know that's why they used to have that when you got drafted, you can negotiate your own contract, and
that was a while back.
So much money.
Now it's set. There's only so.
Yeah, it's because they were sick of these draft picks getting paid all the money and the veterans getting booted
and holding out
the draft, and then the draft pick sucking, and he's taking up all the cap.
And you're fucked. Yeah, you're fucked. Oh man.
So he said the NFL said they're giving the 3-year benefits to Damar, and they may. This is a Damar's situation is unique.
So unique.
Unique to a lot of people. Like what the NFL did, I have to commend them. They actually did right by Damar. Like they are a punching bag most of the time. What they did in general for Damar, for his family, the networks, like it was handled the correct way.
Yeah,
so,
no
but,
doubt.
So that's kind of where we stand now with the playoff scenarios. We'll redo it after this week's games. We'll know more after Saturday because the Chiefs play Saturday.
Yep. Happy New Year, Pierre, by the way.
Happy New Year.
That. But yeah, man, so let's get to this injury report real quick because I know you had it pulled up, Mikey.
Yep, I do. I have it pulled up. So the Bills, 0 players listed. The only person that actually missed practice today was Stephon Diggs, and it was a vet rest day during the walkthrough. For the Patriots, wide receiver Jacoby Myers' shoulder is questionable. Jonathan Smith, concussion. Jonathan Jones, chest. Jalen Mills, groin. And Brendan Schooler, hip. 4 of these guys, well, John really hasn't done nothing since he's been there, but 3 of those guys, the 2 corners and the wide receiver, if they can't play, that's a huge loss.
And mind you, it's questionable, so that doesn't mean anything yet. But Myers is a big loss if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith, I mean, who cares? He guys hasn't done anything. Waste of money. And Jones is a big loss because he's having a good season as well. He's one of their better corners.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones and Jalen Mills is their number 1 right now.
Yeah, exactly. So and groin, I can see that Mills not playing. Like groin injuries are tough. Like I don't know how bad Myers' shoulder is, but I can almost promise I would be shocked if Mills play because groin injuries are very, very tough to play through.
I could see Jones. I could see Myers playing through it. John is all about if he passes the out of the concussion protocol, and Teron is out of the protocol.
Yeah.
He practiced full today.
Yep. We have everybody except for Stephon Diggs, who was just a veteran rest day. So don't even worry about that.
Yep. So it was awesome. It was a great sign. Love that we're starting to get healthy at the right time.
Yeah.
Got great news. I have a feeling they're going to come out ready to go, and put it to the Patriots. And
Oh,
also we get
100%.
a chance to knock them out of the playoffs. Who doesn't want to knock the Patriots out of the playoffs?
Exactly. No doubt about it. And like I said, man, like we said in the beginning when we first went on, man, just the news today that they got that the whole team got on talking with Damar. You figure that, this week of practice, while the whole situation was happening, Mikey, their minds weren't right. They couldn't have been right, and until they knew Damar was not out of the woods, but trending in a very good direction, right? You know how that goes, because you never know. There's setbacks, right? But today, the fact that they took that breathing tube out, the fact that he called them on the Zoom kind of call, whatever they were on, and that he pretty much was the Damar they know. Get what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was out of it, or like he was he was responding to them like he was right there with them. I think that right there got the Buffalo Bills' minds right. I think Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, all these players now are refocused on what their goals were set for, which is a Super Bowl run. And this call today from Damar was much needed. It was so much needed, and what perfect timing. I'm telling you, Mikey, because if this week would have not gone the way it did with Damar, let's just say hypothetically, it would have been a really tough game for them Sunday emotionally. Who knows how they play? I mean, and who would really like? And could we sit back and go, man, like complain? You get what I'm saying? Like as Bills fans, knowing the situation that their heart's not into it. I'm telling you right now, they're into it. They're ready to continue this.
And they were gonna play.
No, they were gonna play.
Yeah.
I'm just saying their emotions, their heart,
Yeah.
their mindset, right? Because if your mind is on focus on something else, you know how that is, Mikey. Like you know firsthand. Something's going on personal. You got a job still to do, but you're not really focused 100, right? You can't be. It's impossible.
As you know, I have stuff going on, and
that's what I'm saying, right?
I'm here, but
it's gotten better. Here. But it's gotten better. Look at you. Your spirits is kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you're like, all right, you're getting back on track. Right? So that's how I feel the Bills. That, like I said, this week has gone very good. Like honestly, like it could have not, Mikey. It really could not have. And like I told you, yes, the game would have happened, but I don't know how these players would have played on Sunday, knowing whatever.
You might have seen them flat because they didn't really want.
Yes,
they were doing it because Damar's dad came on and told them that's what he wanted them to do. Get back to normal.
Correct.
And
I still don't think. Right.
Ben,
even though he said it. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ben comes in and asks.
Yes.
We put Damar on IR and activated Benford back into his spot.
He is
so he will be activated. He'll be back for this week. We also released Xavier Rhodes and signed another safety. So our four corners now are Trey, Jackson, Benford, and Elam. And then we have Cam Lewis still, who's a hybrid corner safety.
Correct. Who is gonna fill in for Damar, you think? Who's taking it? Like if you had to guess, I mean Johnson, do you think it's gonna be Cam?
I hope not. I hope it's Marlowe.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot all about him because
he's been inactive every game.
I
would like to see Dean Marlowe.
Right.
I have a feeling it's either going to be Cam or Johnson.
Right. Because they haven't even mentioned them. It's not like they were like, hey, Marlowe looking like he's going to play this week.
It's either going to be Cam or Johnson this week probably. I would prefer Marlowe because I think he's a better fit, especially at free safety. Because that's where Marlowe played when in that Patriots game a couple years ago when we that big Cam fumble. Marlowe was the one who recovered it. He played for Micah. And I think Marlowe and Marlowe and Poyer have a good bounce off. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
Benford maybe.
don't
He
get
hasn't taken many snaps there, so I don't
Nah,
think
they wouldn't do it.
I think they
Too early.
transition him in the off season. I don't think they would transition him for this game.
I think it's going to be Cam.
Saran Neal, no. Saran Neal is a slot corner now.
Yeah,
He's the one who came in for Teron when Teron got hurt.
Correct. Yeah, it won't be Saran Neal. I have a feeling it's going to be Cam because the way that Frazier was talking about him early on when Cam was back there, it seems like they were already grooming him.
He was better than Johnson in that game. He just tried to make in that Minnesota game. He just tried to make an interception when he should have batted the ball down. That's
correct. Yeah, he didn't play terrible. So
no,
I have a feeling it will be Cam. Though I would like to see Marlowe, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen either. Pierre says I think they should sit Tron this week.
Nope,
and let
not going to happen. Won't happen.
I would like to see more 3 linebacker sets against that run game.
Yeah.
And maybe sit Tron a little bit, but it's never going to happen. The Bills are too stubborn.
Yep, not going to happen.
Too stubborn. Not going to happen.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people feel that Marlowe should be the one that fills in. Like, why do we trade for him if we weren't going to play him? I don't understand it.
It's the weirdest thing, bro. Listen, if we're asking that, I wonder if he's asking that. Like, bro, right? Like, what do you? And he was so happy.
At least he was playing with Atlanta.
Right, Atlanta. Yeah, bro, and he was so giddy to get here. Right? He's like, yeah, back to Buffalo.
Yeah, Ben's right. The only issue we have with Cam is Cam always makes the worst decision at the worst possible time.
Well, hopefully you got to live and learn, man. Hopefully you learn.
So yeah, but so Benford's back, which is awesome. We'll be interested to see if they put Benford back out there or if it's Jackson next to Trey.
That will be, or do they rotate? I think they rotate.
I think they should rotate, knowing that this game, I mean, really, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah.
It's just seeding purposes now. We've already made the playoffs. I don't want to see Trey play 100% of the snaps this week. I'd like to see all 4 of them play.
I got to say, real quick, though, real quick timeout, because we didn't really talk about the game Monday because there wasn't much of a game.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Trey, I know it was early, but I got to say, he looked pretty bad on that first drive. Like he got burnt. And I think, I'll be honest with you, I think Cincinnati went his way early on purpose. I think they were testing him, and it was I'm going to be honest with you, it was working early on. Now, could have the game, listen, it was early. Trey could have gotten going throughout the game. You know how sometimes certain players, maybe, whatever. But I will say they attacked him early on. And he was a step behind, and I know he knows that because he admitted it, and I think that's why it's he's a little upset that he hasn't gotten to be 100% yet back from ACL.
He's not going to be 100% this year.
No, I agree with I know that. We know that. We talked about this, but my point is, I hope it's another week gone by now. Like I hope he's getting a little bit. You get what I mean? I know he'll never get to the 100 this season, probably. I know for a fact, but I don't know for a fact. I can't say that, but.
Not gonna happen.
I need him to never gonna happen. But I do want I really hope Trey before the playoff starts, gets a tad healthy, like back on track because I felt like he was too much of a step behind in that game. Like he was really. It
also didn't help that our defensive line got 0 freaking pressure.
No, I agree. And remember we talked, by the way, early, we always know this, Mikey. Bills love to give up the early touchdown, and then they get going in the game. But I agree with you. That first drive, no pressure. And I remember, what did we talk about that? We talked about it before we went on. We said, listen, if the D-line don't get pressure during that game, what do we need to do? We need to start doing some exotic blitzes with the linebackers. Remember, we were talking about this.
And we did. And on the play that Dan got, Damar got hurt, we sent Milano, and it was picked up.
It was, but that's okay. But it was early on. I'm just saying, like, that first drive, our line wasn't. Now, who knows how that game plays out?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in general, I hope Trey, as these weeks go by before the playoffs hit, he gets a little bit, whatever's going on there, he gets a little step back because I felt like they were kind of going after him. I'll be honest with you in that game. I felt like that early on. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean,
how
they
that
did. The first ball, they threw a go ball to Chase against him.
Yeah, I know. And he was
but
way
I
behind.
also, I don't like the defense that we were running. We were running a lot of single high, and I don't understand why we'd run single high against that receiver set. I didn't understand the game plan.
I don't get it either. You know what, you like that. Listen, they have big like Higgins, big receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is also like, he's not big, but he's a strong receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play those guys physical, and that's where I think
gonna score.
They are. But I feel like that kind of game is like a Saran. I don't mind, like, that's when Saran Neal comes in, a game like that. You bully up on Higgins, right? You know what I mean? You play him physical at the line. Like, those are the kind of receivers that you got to bump and run with. You understand what I'm saying? You can't play that cushiony defense because they're going to kill you.
But that's just the way we play defense.
No, I know, I get that. But I'm saying, if we play him again, I hope we know, because
But we say the same thing. We say the same thing every year about the Chiefs too, and we play that same freaking defense.
I know, I agree. Well, we'll see when we're gonna
play. We just gotta hope our offense can stay with them.
That's what it is. I agree with you there, because you know what? I was thinking that game was gonna want when they. At one point, I'm like, man, this might be a shootout, bro. This might be a back and forth, and whoever has the ball last 2 minutes, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
that's where it was headed. You know, like
that's where I think. Right.
Even against the Chiefs, we gave up a ton of freaking yards, but we stopped them in the red zone.
Right. They didn't have many points at the end.
Yeah, as long as we do that, you know, like we can give up all the yards, 20-20 all we want. They just don't. They give up field goals instead of touchdowns. We're good.
Right. That's why I wasn't super concerned when that game first started. And they went down.
Everyone goes down and gets the touchdown on us right off the bat.
I was like, right. I'm like, yo, nothing. Yeah, bro, I was still calm. I'm like, that's what we do.
we can't think that it's going to be one of those things where we're going to shut down the high-powered offenses. We're not. Nobody does.
Yeah.
There's a chat going on. It says, in all honesty, guys, we could lose this weekend in the playoffs, and I'd be okay with it. Young man life saved in front. Yeah, no. You know, I would like to see us win. Am I going to be so upset if we lose? No.
No. This has nothing. At this point, right. But I always want to win.
I just remember we're playing without 2 all pros on defense.
Right. That's right.
And Miller and Hyde.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
Those are 2 big pieces to our defense that we're playing without. So, you know, it's one of those things. It happens. So, Tommy, all right, keys to the game.
Go ahead, Mikey. You're good with this, and I just back. You know,
stop the run.
Back you up.
Key 1. They like to run the ball. Harris is going to be back this week because last time he wasn't. It was just Stevenson. Harris is a Bills killer. Stop the freaking run.
Yeah.
He is. He's just a Bills killer.
No, he is. Yeah, he had that long run on us last season.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yep. So stop the run. 2, ball security. You know, and just like we had last week, and every possession with a kick, punt, extra point, field goal, no turnovers.
Right.
Don't give them any signs.
Right.
Number 3, continue our red zone offense. We've been really good in the red zone the second half of the season.
Yeah.
We've been really good. I want to see us continuing to put the ball in the end zone. If we do that, I don't think these guys even stay with us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. If we play our game, we limit the turnovers to 0. We don't turn the ball over. We handle our business in the red zone. We stop the run because really that's all they got. I'll be honest with you. I'm not worried about Mac Jones and their receivers. I feel like we match up very well against the receivers. I'll tell you what, the first time we played them, I was very surprised that they did not run the ball as much with Stevenson. They passed way more.
They tried.
And they didn't. But they kind of gave up early on the run. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. We stuffed them, but I kind of felt like they gave up on it quickly. And that goes to show, like their OC is terrible, by the way. I forget his name, but Patricia. But no, man, we match up. Listen, we match up very well, in my opinion, against Patriots. We have that. I feel like we're going to stop that run. Once again, we're going to stop it early, and it's going to put the ball in Mac Jones' hand. And I think we'll get after Mac Jones a few times. He's not a mobile quarterback. I think our line,
Jordan Phillips, don't dive after him.
Right. Yeah. Don't, please. Just let him throw the ball away at some point. Or if we get the ball in an interception or fumble, no need to run toward.
Right.
But either way,
relax, big fella. Relax, big fella. It's okay.
Calm down, buddy. But yeah, get home. I think this is a game where we could pick up easily. I would say at least minimum three sacks. And I'm thinking it's going to be at least a 4
we only
sack.
sacked them once last time.
I know, but I think we can get home on this game. I really do. At home, in Buffalo, I think we can get home at least 3 to 4 times, in my opinion. Gregory Rousseau, Ed Oliver, Shaq Lawson, Jordan Phillips. I mean, all these guys can get home. I can see Milano getting to him at one point. So I definitely, I see that. I don't know why, but either way. So Mikey.
Did you see this? The Mac Jones thing?
Yes. Very dirty play.
He's getting a rep for being a dirty player.
Yeah, he's done 2 of them now. Like he did some dirty play.
Yeah, because he gator rolled Burns in Carolina a couple years back.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yes. He's
like, oh, I thought he had the ball.
Yeah, he can be, but it is football's a dirty sport sometimes. But no, I'm not a Mac Jones. Listen, they got New England has they got a lot of work to do in the offseason. They really do.
Listen, for as bad as they are, if they beat us, they're in.
No, I get it. I'm just saying they got problems with some. They got problems. Trust me. Me. Tomorrow, by the way, we'll talk about that. You know how Juan and Trevor, Sports Dynasty, feel about what's going on in New England right now.
Yeah.
Even if they get in, they're not going to be happy because they know. Listen, if they get in, they'll be out as fast as they'll be out just like that. Like most of these teams.
Twice in one game, and then he got fined for it when he slid and kicked some dude in the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Bobby, thanks for coming in, brother. The only team that can beat the Bills are the Bills. The 3 games we've lost, we beat ourselves in them.
1,000% correct, by the way. So we lost by a combined 8 points. You know how the Vikings game went? That was an easy win. Come on, let's be honest with you. Let's be honest here. The Vikings was the easy win. The Jets, we just shot ourselves in the foot the whole game. And the Dolphins, we had an opportunity with bad clock management. By the way, in the first half and the second half. Couldn't get a field goal off in the first half. Couldn't get a field goal off in the second half. So opportunities that was on the Bills. We did a lot of stupid mistakes early on. That's okay. There's the all correctable mistakes. We have 3 losses on the season. We're a very good football team. You are 100% right on that. Like the Bills, if we play our game, we play a clean game. We could beat any team, any place, anytime. Like I'm that confident in our team, in our offense and our defense. I don't think we lack. The only thing I will say we lack is the offensive line. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people go, the running game. We have no running backs. I don't believe that. We do have running backs.
And we don't have an offensive running backs.
Right. The offensive line is our weakness. Like if we have one weakness on this team, that's the only one I can honestly point to.
Triggs, this weekend will be the chef's kiss if the Chiefs lose, the Dolphins and the Patriots both lose and don't get in the playoffs. It would be. But hey, all right, Tommy, it's time. Score prediction time.
It's time.
It's time. It's score prediction time. We did see Chewy score prediction. He had a 35-10. My score prediction this week, 34-15.
Nice. 15, huh? Okay.
They kicked 5 field goals.
I like it. All right. So I got it's going to be cold, but it's not going to be snowing, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure I read the reports. It's going to be a cold day. I'm going to say because of that, I'm going to say 37. No. Yeah. You know what? I'll go 37. 37-13. I think they get a touchdown somewhere in that game and a couple field goals. 37-13. It could go 34-13. It's going to be in the 30 range, in my opinion. Somewhere in that 30 range, 31, 34, 37, something like that. But either way, I don't see the Patriots getting more than 17 points. But I'll put it at 13.
All right.
Damn,
I like that. And
45-10,
34-13 was actually my original one, and I changed it to 15. I think they could kick 5 field goals. I like to come up with odd numbers.
Tom is so negative.
Yeah. So spin 45-10.
He's winning. I mean,
Pierre 35-17.
oh, yikes.
Thomas 33-3. All three.
But then he changed his mind. He put 13-3. Which is it, Thomas?
Bills will go 13-3. We'll be 13-3.
Okay. Oh, all right. I thought
Chris 38-7.
Oh, okay.
I like it, guys. Yes, I think Josh is going to have a big game.
I think they all
Josh came out on fire. Like outside of that one miss to Cole Beasley.
Cole, yeah.
On the red zone.
He had him too.
Yep. Other than
just
that
a
miss,
tad high, man.
Josh looked like good.
He did
coming out.
You know what? I thought the play calling in that first drive was good. I thought it was fluent.
Yeah, although I wasn't sure why we went on the 3rd and 3. We went to Cole Beasley there on the out. I thought there could have been a better play call there. I hate that long throw to the.
I agree, but I think but if it was a better pass
throw, yeah, he has him.
It's the first. So
yeah,
really,
I just don't like the call.
I get it, but he had him. Cole Beasley. Let me tell you, when you go back to that replay, when you watch it, he put a move on that dude. He had him. Like he got that dude on skates, Mikey. They weren't on
a little high.
Just overthrew it, a little high. But he had him. If he hits him in a sweet spot, that could have been a touchdown. By the way, very close to being a touchdown.
Yeah, Spin. If the Jags win, Pats, Miami, and the Steelers lose, we play the Pats in the wild card round. Yeah, the Pats could lose and still get in. That's crazy because they have they split.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a interesting. Listen, it all starts tomorrow.
Pierre Hodgins would have caught that. You're right. Hodgins is
Hodgins is tall shit. Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you, that's the one thing that we don't have as a monster as a.
We don't have height. We haven't had that forever.
Davis is the biggest guy we got, and he doesn't play big.
No, he does. You're right. But we haven't had a tall receiver and a guy like that, one of those players in a long time, man. We just I couldn't tell you the last, by the way, bigger receiver. Huh?
Good for Hodgins. He's tearing it up with the Giants.
No, I like, but I would let's see next season.
Well, no,
because right now
they don't have other guys. He's like the one guy.
That's my point. Yeah. I'm not, and this is not dissing Hodgins. But right now, it's not like the Giants have like these talented receivers and Hodges is going there tearing they don't have much.
Yes, we didn't even talk about this because it was the game. But Thomas Allen was pissed at Dorsey because he was getting the play called in slow.
I noticed that. I forgot about that at one point, and I think it wasn't just him. Somebody else was doing it. I don't know.
What happened when it comes down? It goes down into the quarterback coach.
No, but I mean there was another player that was I'm glad you brought that up because I remember Allen going, but I remember they went when they panned out, there was somebody else, might have been Diggs or something going or Lyman maybe. I forget who it was, but there was more than one guy going, you know what I mean? Like, let's go.
Well, Josh is the only one who has the thing. So
yeah, but I don't know if they couldn't see. There was somebody else going. Yeah.
They probably realized Josh was getting pissed, and they were trying to hey guys, speed this shit up.
Right. But it is. Listen.
Thomas,
that's
another
thing. We usually
it felt like Josh was trying to go up tempo. And he just wasn't
I
getting in.
said that. Remember
Yeah.
before the game, I said I would like to see up-tempo offense.
It looked like
Remember
they were
I told
supposed to be, and the plays were coming in slow, and it's pissing them
right.
off.
See, now early on, I gotta say this too, though. I get what you're saying there, but I will say this: this season, for the most part, we generally get to the line way on time. Like
Oh, yeah,
very rare do I see Josh Allen like they're like, oh, 1 second, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna like normally they're already at the line where Allen can call audible or you know whatever. You know, if he sees a certain play, he's telling. We usually have time, so yeah. But you got to remember, on the road, it's loud. We don't know what was going on there at that time.
Yeah. Spin asks, can the QBs talk to the OC in the headset, or is communication one way? The communication is one way while he's on the field, but then he has a line up to him on the sidelines.
Right. Yeah, but on the field, one way. It's just it's just a speaker.
Yeah, it's just one way. It's Dorsey or our QB coach. Can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Brady.
Brady. One of them is calling in the plays to Josh. I think it's Dorsey that calls in the plays to Josh.
Probably it's Dorsey. Yeah, they're communicating over there.
Yeah.
But no, I listen for them. That's gonna happen on the road. Loud play. I mean,
there was a lot of little things I liked it from Josh. Yeah, the throwaway on the screen, he just dumped it. You know, he wasn't playing outside of himself. He was playing within the scheme. I liked that.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, that first drive was smooth.
He just was a little high on third down. That's all.
That's it. That was the only.
Yep.
Right. Other than that, though, you see how the game was gonna go. I
liked we were running the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and they said we couldn't run on them. I like that we were running the ball.
Yeah.
The run game starting to come together.
Cook had some good carries there. Yep.
You know, the run game starting to come together under
it is.
You know,
Cromer and Dorsey. Yeah, getting it, finally getting it like best they can do.
Yeah, and, you know,
right.
Like they're running it well right now. So I like to see that continue too. Barmore will be back for the Patriots this week as well. But at the end of the day, it's about Josh executing the offense. So I think we'll be all right. Tommy, any final thoughts?
No, man. Did you answer this question here by the past master?
Just stopping by, fellas. Do you know who wears the green dot on defense? Tremaine.
Oh,
Tremaine
yeah.
Tremaine calls the plays and wears the green dot.
Yeah, he's been that since his rookie season, actually. That's why they absolutely love Edmonds. And that's why, like I tell Bills Mafia all the time, like, dude, that dude was like, how old was he? 19 when he came in the league.
And he wore the green dot from the start.
Right. And like I'm with you guys as far as I don't think Buffalo uses him correctly. I've been saying that. However, he's still a very good player in his system, and he does his job, and he usually leads the team in tackles every season since he's been here.
You see what happens when he's not on the field. Like he closes, his size alone closes down passing lanes.
100%. So, but yeah, he's been the play caller since was a rookie.
Oh, please let Derek Carr go to New England. I would love to play Derek Carr twice a year. Derek Carr.
That's interesting. Yeah, but that would be
Derek Carr is just a veteran version of Mac Jones.
Yeah, he's a little better than Mac Jones, though. He would be an upgrade over Mac Jones, in my opinion.
Let Patricia still call plays for Derek Carr and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, he is a better option, in my opinion, than Mac Jones. Like, I think if I'm a Patriot fan at that point, I would still. I'm not. Mac Jones is. I'm telling you, man. Mac Jones is a system quarterback. He doesn't. I'm not saying he's awful, but I think he's average at every single trait. You get what I mean? Like, I don't think he's above average in anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's just level enough where he can be a good quality backup, a journeyman quarterback in this league.
Ooh,
but a franchise quarterback, no way.
That is a great comp. Chad Pennington for Mac Jones. That is a great
I'll tell you what, though. Chad Pennington
was smart.
He was. Let me tell you something.
When he was a gunslinger, too.
He was even when I got to give Chad credit, even when he went to Miami, because I watched him. We played him
Yeah.
Even when he got hurt and he came back and his arm was never the same, he was a smart quarterback. Like he was an accurate quarterback. He just didn't have that deep ball anymore. He had like a noodle arm, but he knew where to throw. They didn't ask him to do too much, but he was a.
Mhm.
I like Chad Pennington. I'll be honest with you. I thought Chad Pennington, if he didn't get hurt, who knows where his career would have taken him to.
Chad Pennington wasn't bad. He was really good with the Jets.
That's what I'm saying. Before he got hurt,
yeah,
he would even like I said though. Even when he went to Miami, I still felt like he played pretty good football.
He was smart.
Right. Like they knew
smart.
how to
He didn't
use
have
him.
the arm, but he was
Right.
really smart, and he could break down the defense.
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
to touch on this before we get off.
Yeah,
Christian
go ahead.
is apparently Carr to the Jets. I don't think it'd be Carr. I think it's
That's
gonna be Jimmy G to the Jets.
That's
the reason why I
think
say
so
that
too.
is because Saleh and the offensive coordinator there, it's Green Bay Packers' brother, the head coach, McClure.
But I'll tell you another one that it could be thrown out there too, though, Mikey. Even though I have a weird feeling that Lamar somehow is going to wind up in Miami, I could also see Jimmy G going to Miami because of the quarterback over there in the San Francisco system.
Could be the Jets or it could be Miami.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
I have a weird feeling that Lamar's going to end up in Detroit.
You think you know what? That wouldn't shock me either. They're in a
dome.
dome. They got weapons.
Well, not just that, because he's gonna have to be traded there.
I'm just saying,
they have the picks.
They have the picks,
and he becomes the franchise there. He'll get paid. They have all the weapons that he needs.
Big money. No
he
pay
has
him.
Great running game. Yeah. And I think that's where the Baltimore would want to trade him because then he's outside the conference.
That's true too. I didn't even think about that. You're right. Yeah, Miami would beat you. Right. I didn't even think about that. But still, Miami loves to give a shitload.
Doesn't have the picks to trade for him. So
you're right. I forgot about that. The picks. They'd have to wait years for picks. They'd have to trade players. They'd have to get players instead. Or
what players on what players on that team would they be willing to give Lamar for?
It'd be interesting.
Because if they trade him, they're going to need one of these top quarterbacks. And you know who's going to have a top pick? It's going to be Detroit.
Yeah. They're going to be up there.
So,
interesting. That's so interesting. All season, I'll tell you, the all season is going to be interesting. It really is. There's some players there to be on the lookout for. Some moves are going to be made.
I don't know, and I don't know how because I know Cole Beasley was called
practice
up
squad still.
I don't know because John Brown has one more call up. I don't know since that game was considered a no contest if Cole has one more call up.
Oh, that's interesting, Mikey. He'll play. But I get what you're saying.
Because I wonder
John Brown. I think John.
Since it wasn't considered a game, they just don't consider it a call up.
I'm going to tell you that I love John Brown, but I don't think you're going to see him again. I have a weird feeling that you're not going to see John Brown. I'm not saying I'm just on this team in the playoffs. I just don't see it.
He'll be part of the roster.
No, he'll be part of the roster.
I don't think
but I don't see he'll be active. Exactly. Like
unless someone gets hurt, I can't see him coming in.
Exactly. Like he'll be part of there, but he won't be active unless Mikey said, unless Gabe Davis went down, McKenzie. Like if McKenzie goes down, 100%, of course.
Yeah, but any of them, Shakir, McKenzie.
I mean,
he's
Shakir, right?
He's not taking one of those spots.
No.
From somebody. But however, if someone gets hurt, he's a good safety option.
100%.
Okay. All right, Tommy. So what's on tap for the rest of this weekend?
All right. So tomorrow, Saturday, at 6:00 is our season finale of AFC East Shakedown. So you guys don't want to miss it. It's the finale. Captain D supposedly will be there. We'll see. Trevor and Juan will be there, of course, representing their Patriots. So, guys, if you want to see Patriots Bills talk, you definitely want to come on tomorrow at 6. And then we do in the live post-game show. Me and Mikey at 4:15, 4:30, depending what time the game kind of ends. And I think tomorrow as well, Backdoor Bills Talk. I haven't scheduled the show yet, but I believe that'll be a quick live show, maybe 30 minutes. It's not going to be long.
Season recap, our last fantasy show.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I haven't set it up yet either, Mikey. So
that's fine.
2 o'clock fantasy recap. We'll be doing that as well. tomorrow, which will be the season finale as far as recap. But Mikey and Howie might have some cool little stuff going on, which I'll tweet that out, and I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. But other than that, yeah, that's it, guys. And then Monday, obviously, we'll be doing the Mafia Sports Report on Fanbase and Mafia Sports Report. So that's it, Mikey.
All right.
That's all I got.
Cool. Then I'll see those that drop into the fantasy kingdom tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you at the post game after the Bills go 13-3.
All right, guys. Hey, go Bills. Bills Mafia #1. We're out. Peace out.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.